Evelyn Linwood. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing the Authors Are Weird tag, which is just like a series of questions. So I will just go through the questions. I have them on a list on my phone. The first question, do you have bizarre internet searches? If so, what's the weirdest one? And the answer to that is absolutely. I'm not sure what the weirdest one is, but I will tell you that I have multiple times looked up how much blood is in the human body, how much you can lose before dying, the effects of the effects of various levels of blood loss. I went through a poison phase where I was looking up an awful lot of poisonings. I poisoned several characters. I did find out that poisoning is one of the most common things, not that it's common, but poisoning is one of the most common ways that book violence winds up with copycats. So I invented my own poisons so that I would put a layer of protection, which may be silly, maybe, I know it's not my fault if someone chooses to poison someone, but I noped out of that. So I do have quite the search history, though. Poisons, blood loss, various musculature, how long things would take to heal. Mostly I look up injuries to figure out how to injure someone without messing with my plot. How to injure someone, make it believable in a way that maybe they're injured, but they're not. Like, I can reference the injury, but it doesn't hamper them too much, or hampers them just the amount I want it to. I also did a lot of research on, medieval currency, horses, a lot of horse-related research. Possibly the most niche one would be food. Just looking up how food used to be. Because, a lot of modern inventions, I think, affect the way we eat. Even just, what bread used to look like compared to now. Just based on how fine we grind flour. That kind of thing. I guess my searches are not that weird. Medieval measurements was a big one, actually, because the ones, I'm American, so our measurements are not that old, and I didn't want to just use metric because I'm American. Not really, but I didn't want to. Do you write people you know and dislike into your story as villains or dumb people to kill off? Absolutely not. Occasionally, someone I like, their character traits will bleed into my characters, but I have never written a person to match a person. I've stolen names off random people with their permission, because I thought they had a cool name. But by and large, no. No. I hate killing characters in the first place, so any character I kill, I have a very good reason to kill them. The first time I killed a character, I cried my eyes out. And I felt like a sissy because I did that. I can undo it. I did undo it, actually, in the next draft because it didn't make any sense with as much as the story changed. But no, I do not kill real people in my books. That may be a coping mechanism some people would do. I don't think it would be helpful to me. I think it would make me a worse person. Does personal hygiene sometimes come second to writing? No. I don't get... I'm not as much of a burst writer, so I don't get, long writing sessions where... and also, I'm not squeezing it in. Writing is, my main thing. So, even though I'm not yet earning enough, I'm lucky enough that the way it's worked out, writing is my main thing, and then I have client work to kind of support a little bit. So no, I do not ever write instead of shower. That's not a thing. Not for me. Sometimes if I'm in the zone, though, I will forget to, like, eat or drink. Because time moves weird. Sometimes it feels like it's an illusion. Do you go on baby name websites to help you name your characters? Absolutely. My favorite used to be when I was, like, this was a decade and a half ago. My favorite was Behind the Name. I don't like that one anymore. I don't know if they changed it or if I changed. The one that I really loved these days is Nameberry. I like the way they do their lists. Yeah, I don't use, like, name generators. I like to look up. Sometimes I base the names mostly on, like, I'll pick a region and try and kind of do the same names just to give my book a little flair. It's always a European region. I'm not, like, I don't know. Well, I guess it's not always European. Anyway, I will pick a region and try and stick mostly to that and give a little bit of flavor to the weather and match it to the weather and animals. I tend to match to a real life region. And that will match the names, but then I make up everything else. Although I do try to, like, if I'm making up a culture, I want it to match. I take into account how the weather would affect the culture, if that makes sense. Do you have a list of actors and actresses that would play your characters if there was an adaptation made? No. I don't even, like, I watch TV, don't get me wrong, but I don't know the names of actors and actresses. I wouldn't even know how to look them up. So, yeah, I don't even necessarily want adaptations. Like, if I could have a TV show, maybe. But that's not a goal in my brain. Interestingly, a much bigger goal. It's a secret dream of mine I guess it's not going to be a secret anymore. The way in my brain that I will have made it is if fan fiction happens. That would be... I don't think it doesn't happen for most people, but, you know. Have you ever stared at a stranger because they look like one of your characters? Maybe. I think, yeah. I mean, I tried not to, but it was weird. I picture my characters very much. I know what they look like. Which, I say that, but I don't mind if they don't look the same in my reader's head as they do in mine. I mind that they act the same, I guess. Yeah. Do you talk to yourself to help work through your scenes? If so, where do you talk to yourself? A little bit, but I tend to do the thing where I talk to a person, but really I'm talking to myself. Like, I'll talk it through with my husband, but I don't require that much help with it. I just needed to say the words. Or once in a while I'll talk to my mom or my brother. Or one of my writing buddies. The next question is, while writing, do you make the expressions your characters are making? Sometimes. If I'm having trouble describing an expression, yes, I will. More often, it's a hand gesture or like a physical... I don't have the best proprioception, I guess would be. So I have trouble, like, thinking through the physical actions that somebody's taking. I played sports. I mean, I'm not like... I have to do the action sometimes to be able to describe it. I don't know what this is. I have a red spot. 9. Do you ever practice answering interview questions in case you make it big? No. I would absolutely love to like do interviews, author interviews, that kind of thing, or like a panel at one of those writing book conventions things. I'm not going to practice that. If I was big and I had that position, I would practice it then. Now it's like a waste of time. Feels big-headed to me. I wouldn't, it's not the kind of thing I would do. Do you have a soundtrack and or playlist for your book or scenes from your book? Absolutely. Every book I write, I tend to change it a little per draft, but so I'll add or delete songs when I get really, really sick of them, or if they don't fit the vibe anymore when I change stuff. But I have a playlist for every project. Showing Silver had one. I took some of the songs from that and put it on the Project Gold playlist. But it's not all overlapping, it's just a few. Project Gold is a little bit, I'm leaning into the academia of it all. So I have more, it's a slightly different vibe. It's still kind of the same kind of lighthearted fantasy, but I'm adding a little bit of academia feeling. So I have a lot of Harry Potter music on that playlist. Like the university is nothing like Hogwarts. The magic system is nothing like JKR's. But the music I love. I love John Williams. His music is so good. So I have some Harry Potter music on that playlist. And I have one for Project King 2 that it's changed a little bit. I actually have one for the sequel to Project King and the sequels to sequel because I know a little bit of the vibe I want. So I have that. I have so many projects. One of these days I'm going to start a second Spotify and like actually share my playlists for at least projects that are complete. Maybe through like a newsletter cookie or something. But I have 5 folders in my writing projects playlist. I have the Kings series, the Arkin series, a couple of standalones, Plot Bunny, and 2 fanfics. Fanfiction, I will tell you what category they're in. They are not published. I don't know if they'll ever be published. I have fun with them. That's enough for me. One of them is a Pokemon fanfic that I was writing about like the child of one of the Team Rocket people. A made-up character. But I was enjoying like the kind of the what if of it. So he was not a Team Rocket member. He was just a regular trainer. One of them, I was writing a Harry Potter fanfic that took place the year that Albus, Harry's kid, went to school. It completely ignores Harry Potter and the Cursed Child because I don't like that. But yeah, so that is my fanfics, my secret fanfics. They're not posted. I don't know if I'll ever post them. If I do, I might do it under my own name. Who knows? Plot bunnies. I have one that is kind of inspired by the isekai genre of anime. I have one that is a Regency romance, which that one will probably never see the light of day. I was just having fun experimenting with romance because I am not I was very bad at writing like the romance of stuff, so I did a lot of romance practice. I have a Regency Fae romance too. I have one I'm calling Sky Pirates, which I'm very attached to that one. That one will probably someday see the light of day. One is a Fae court, one is about a mermaid. I don't know if those will ever see the light of day. Again, I'm one of those people who has more ideas than time. So I will start something, I'll write like 10 to 20,000 words, and then I will continue or I will be like, meh. Sometimes I write 2,000 words and I'm like, no. And then I have the Arcan list. So I have Showing Silver, Project Gold, and I have the Kings list. I actually have titles picked out for all 3 of those. I actually have titles picked out for at least 5 books. I don't know if I'll write more than that. I do have 3 more ideas, so it might be an 8-book series. We'll see. And I've had an idea for a sequel duology for the Arcan world. So, yeah, I have ideas running around. Plot bunnies gone wild. For those of you who aren't writers, we call plot ideas plot bunnies because they like to multiply. I have not counted the number of, like, projects I've started in a long time, and I don't want to. Yeah, but I'm not going to run out of ideas anytime soon. I have a couple. Actually, I don't know where the playlist went for that. I didn't go through the standalone playlist. Come back, Spotify. The standalones. There we go. I have one that is about a werewolf who is a monster hunter. I am super attached to that project. That will absolutely, someday, I want that one published. I have one about a assassin with a redemption arc, I guess I'll call it. I have a title picked out for both of those. Title I'm very happy with for each of them. I won't be sharing the title. But yeah, I have playlists galore. That was the point. Playlists and plot bunnies galore. That is all of the questions. There were 10 questions. So thank you for watching. The authors is weird tag is one that I've always kind of enjoyed. There are a few tags running around, but that's one I enjoy. I like getting to kind of know an author. So I hope you found that fun. If you are a new YouTuber, I tag you. Get with it. Drop your channel name in the comments so that I can come watch your Authors Are Weird video. Because I love that. If you've already done one in the past and you're like an established YouTuber, also tell me your channel name so I can come watch your Authors Are Weird. And yeah, I don't mind that. For videos like this, I love people to share their channels so that we can all, back and forth. If you don't have a channel but just want to talk about your answers to these questions, go ahead. I love comments. I will respond to as many as I can.